everybody, this is Chris. We're checking out Game Dev Tycoon. So basically, it's a tycoon type game where you start your own software company or game development company, and then you go through 30 years of making and developing games, game engines, and stuff like that. So I played it through once. Pretty cool. It took me, I don't know, I probably played it for 6 hours straight. Very fun. And I'll show you a little bit of what's going on. So obviously you want to put in your company name. Vulture Games, because I feed on the scraps, I guess. Random name. Now, since I played this through already, you can have hints from whatever games you've played as far as what goes good with what games and mixes and stuff like that. So I'll just turn that on so you guys can see it. Okay, so it looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Alright, so after a few technical difficulties, had to restart the client, and here we are. So, this is the garage, and it looks like there could be a DeLorean underneath there, so I'm thinking it's the mid-80s. That would make sense with the PC craze starting. So, we're going to develop our first game. Now, there's a bunch of tutorial notes. I'm not going to read through them, just because I'm sure you've seen other videos and people have done it. You can see it. Just keep moving along here. Basically, the more you make games, the more you research, the more you learn, the more, the better your games can be, because you add new technologies and stuff like that. So that's basically what this is about. And these topics are randomly, procedurally generated, I guess you'd say, because they're always different when you start a new game. But as you see, I've used the prison one before, so that has some information there that I had discovered while doing research on the releases and stuff like that. So it's good to have. So we're going to do it as a simulation. I think that's a good combination, but I can't remember. And we're going to go with the G64 only because the market share is higher. It's going to cost $25K to develop. We have $62K to use. So let's go ahead and start the first development phase. And we're going to go with 2D graphics, even though it costs a little bit more. Now, as you develop the game, you add to designing technology points and research points as well. And game development runs through 3 stages, and at each stage you can kind of pick up what to focus on, and it also has some sliders, which you'll see. And this is good where you think about what's important to the type of game that you're developing. It helps your review score in the end, but it also helps design and technology points. And then the game reports are kind of important because it tells you what works and what doesn't with the game that you just released. So these are what helps you determine what focus you want to put in the development stages. And 3 pluses is put a lot of thought towards that. And the negatives or the minuses, you don't have to worry about that as much. And usually I just put that at 0 if it's 2. So as you can see, gameplay for a simulation is very high. The engine is pretty high, so I'll bring that up a little bit. And storyline quests are not that important, so I'll bring it down. Then you can see the overall dispersion of time towards each stage. Now, as you develop bugs as well. There's a times that you might need to release the game prior to debugging. Generally, you don't. It's only an emergency situation, like you're out of cash and you're not going to make the next month before the game releases. And that was stage 2 of the development. And as you go out, as you learn more, you'll be able to add things into the development stages, like save games and stuff like that. That's developed in the game engine when you make your own game engine. This will, where it says graphics and sound on the right-hand side, this will develop more into larger lists of things that you can add into the game. But right now, you're basically limited to what they got. So now we're finalizing the development. As you can see, my cash went down to 19,000. Now it's 11,000. And we'll do the bug fixes right now. And we'll finish. As you finish the development, then the reviews will come in. It'll be one review page with 4 reviews, and that'll give you a number based on what the review of the game is. And this shows how much design and technology points you developed, and then it'll give you kind of an experience bar for the different types of things in the game. And as these get more developed and higher levels, then it gives you more options to research to make your games better. You can also trash the game or release the game. If you know it's going to be a bomb, don't release it because it's just going to cost you money and stuff. But go ahead and release this one because it's the first one anyway. And the reviews are in. Beautiful from Star Games. I like it. Informed Gamer. Have seen better. Game Hero. Fuck off. Shows potential. All games. So not bad. Just, you know, slightly above average. It's not bad. It's good for a first game. And you always want to develop a game report after you release a game because it goes towards your research points, and it also helps you determine what combinations, aspects, and stuff that make games better, so you get better ratings. As you can see, the research bar going there. Now we had 5,000 units sell in the first week, which is not bad. So up in the right hand corner here you see the game revenues per week. Here it just explains that game research is good because it gives you research points that you can use towards the betterment of your technologies. And I am going to go ahead and develop another game just because I can't really do anything else. I haven't done a history yet, so let's just see if we can... I don't know what a good combination is. We'll see. And because I've done strategy games in the past, you can see that I have the indications of what's more important. So this will definitely help me in my development. Now, for some reason, I don't know which is which here. I'm going to have to say strategy, probably artificial intelligence would be the more important factor, so I'm going to go ahead and stay with what I got here. And industry news and updates will happen throughout the game when new platforms have been released, when they've been shut down and are no longer supported, so these are good to pay attention to. Sometimes you can find a niche game market in a certain platform, so you just kind of got to pay attention to that. And also, you know, you might release a bunch of stuff or be in the process of releasing something, and then a game system is no longer supported. So you've wasted all that time, especially if you're, you know, halfway through development. And in the early stages of the game, you can only do one platform, so you've wasted the entire design time if that happens. So the game went off the market after how many months it was on. Developed or generated 131,000 units in sales. So I'm sorry, that was money in sales. And I'm gonna guess at this because I don't know. Let's see what we got. So you can see quite a bit of a gain in each level of these topics here. So we're moving right along. So all in all, just slightly above average game again. Consistency is actually pretty good in this game. You know, I'd rather be consistently getting, you know, 7s, 6s, 7s, and 8s than getting 1s and 2s all the time, and then, you know, 10s once in a while. But when you get 9s and 10s, it is a huge boost to sales. So, you know, you'll hit it eventually. And again, I'm going to generate another game report. So Ninvento is actually, there's another platform designer that you might know of called Nintendo. It is looks just like what you think it would, and it'll show you in a sec. When it gets released, you'll instantly recognize it as the NES. Now I want to research because I have 45 research points. I would need 50 for the next what I want, which is the custom game engine. New topics are completely non-relevant. In the times that the market asks for new topics, that's the only time you'd really have to worry about it. But I worked with 4 topics in my last game, and I was ultra successful. So the topics don't really matter as long as you don't do them, in the same, one release is the same topic as the next release. Then it starts getting you bad reviews or ratings. And also game types, you don't want to do the same thing twice in a, 1 month to the next. So you want to break it up a little bit, but you can do plenty with 4 topics. Now I'm going to start switching over to the PC because not in the very near, in the very near future, the G64 will go away. And I think it's been a while, but I think that's the Commodore 64 is the real-world equivalent of that platform. And I'm not even bothering to name games anymore. When you develop about 700 games, you don't really care anymore. The music is great. I love it. Alright, so we'll change this around a little bit. Now we'll be able to research the game engine shortly after this development, and then I will be able to release things on my own engine. And 23,000 units sold, 165 in sales. Not bad. And here is your TES. And we gain some levels in gameplay and artificial intelligence. And that was a very good review. Alright, so now we'll be able to do contract work. This is good for research, so the first playthrough I didn't do anything like that, and there's a huge difference if you do. And now we're going to research custom game engine. And as you develop good games, you gain more fans, and fans actually come into play later in the game, and they'll help you out a lot. So it's good to make good games and have lots of fans. Alright, so now we can create our own game engine. and we got a research option for tutorials. So we're going to go ahead and research that. Alright, so now we're going to develop our first game engine. And we're going to want to pick pretty much everything here because it's just the first tier of everything. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And as you add these options, the cost goes way up. So this is going to take half of our money just to develop this engine, but it's worth it. And our goal right now is to get to $1 million, and then we'll be able to move to an office and start hiring employees, which really helps out. But of course you got to be careful that if you don't go bankrupt, and it's very easy, especially when you're developing large games. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do a new game. We're going to use the Talon 1. I'm going to go 2D graphics version 2. A little bit more expensive, but worth it. Now, we're going to go ahead and add these bonus items or bonus options into the game, and I'm not 100% sure what they do or how they work. I haven't looked, but I throw them in just as I would expect any game developer to do when you're focusing on certain elements of the game. So under gameplay, game tutorials, and then under engine, I'm going to throw save game. I might be doing this all wrong, but I have beat the game twice and I've been very successful, so it's working. We get some more level ups, and we're ready to release the game. And now there's another option that we can research with research points: mono sound. And I'd say that's definitely an above average game. And you can see it's really selling well. So good, we had some great combinations of history and simulation or whatever I chose, so that's good. Now let's do some contract work. Now you gotta complete these before the time ends, or else you end up paying a penalty. But as you can see, they add a lot to research, so that there's something that you really need to do. This just tells you that certain systems or platforms work better with certain games than others. I know on PC, casual games do not work. And you want to research target marketing or target audiences, because then you can choose mature, everyone, or young, which can help you. Alright, so now we can go ahead and make another game. We can make another engine, but I don't think we need to right now. I'm going to pick mature. And start developing a prison action game. The Vina, I believe that is the Sega equivalent. I never had one. I had Nintendo, and then PlayStation 2. That's all I ever owned for systems. Oh, you'll get these throughout the game. You can give interviews. It also helps increase the hype for your game release. Unfortunately, it works both ways. If your game sucks, the hype is hurts you a lot more than anything else. Alright, so we got our hype, and we're just fixing our bugs, and then we're going to release the game. Okay, we got some levels up here, and we'll see how we did. It's better than the name. Yes, it could be better than the name. Oh, very good. Very good reviews. Nothing to research at the moment. Let me see if there's any contracts. So we just got to keep on the path here of doing, you know, making good games and creating sales. So this game is a bunch of waiting while you're waiting for things to happen, so it can get some sort of tedious moments, but otherwise I think it's pretty enjoyable. Alright, so we made a sales record with that last game, 50,000 units sold. And we're up with almost $500,000 in money. Still nothing to research, so let's make another game. Now, I stick with PC. Don't necessarily have to. And in fact, we could do the TES. It just costs a little bit of money to get the license. It's only 80,000, so we'll go ahead and do that. Now, I just got the research for casual games. I actually went through my entire last playthrough without even researching it. It's not really useful unless you're doing, unless you want to market towards the iPhone and iPad and shit like that. Now, here's where the G64 is actually going to disappear from the marketplace. I'll give you a hint, the PC never goes away. You might lose a lot of marketplace, but it does not disappear. And we're plugging right along. And Invento just released the Gameling, otherwise known as the Game Boy. I don't even bother with it. It's just not worth it to me. And the only thing now to do is to develop another game. As you can see, games on the TES are not really good for the mature audience, so we're going to go back down to PC because it is. So that last game was a good performing game, 300,000 in revenues. Oops, I didn't want to do that, but hopefully that doesn't affect the game too much. I have never gotten all 10s, and it is possible to get an 11. This will catapult me. The first time I played through, I did not upgrade to the next level. You should, because you'll get to where you need to go faster, but you just got to be careful about your income. Alright, so I'm going to end this here, and we'll pick up later on this next small office vision